Prime Minister said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen, he was a private meeting, he said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada. Let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
That was President Trump doubling down on his wish for Canada to join the United States during his interview with Fox News yesterday. Last week, Trump threatened harsh tariffs against Canada and Mexico, but delayed them both after both countries promised to send 10,000 troops to each border. Now, Trump is claiming those actions aren't enough to stop the tariffs, saying it's, quote, not sustainable, and that he is changing it. Joining us now, senior political reporter for Axios, Alex Eisenstadt. First, I just want to talk about what we're hearing there from the president, saying it's not enough to delay the tariffs. At the same time, though, even as he says he's serious about making Canada a 51st state, you've got his national security advisor this weekend on Meet the Press saying, no, there's no military plans to do that, explaining it away. But you see shades of negotiation.
Yeah, it's the classic Trump move, right? You start at one place to get another. To get the other party to meet you somewhere in the middle. And so is he serious about a military intervention here? Probably not. But what he does want to do is he does want to move Canada to some place where there could be some notion of agreement. So this is where he starts.
We're seeing this on the foreign stage, though, not just with him there, but also in the relation to the way that he's talking about Gaza.
Yeah. And so this is the question, right, which is when he says these things, do you necessarily take it literally from the beginning point? Or is there sort of a broader discussion he's trying to open when he says these kinds of things?
Yeah, and it seems like you're looking at it from the perspective of, okay, maybe on foreign policy it's all negotiating, but then on the domestic stuff, a lot of the things that he said on the campaign trail are things that he's actually doing now. I want to pivot to an excerpt that we have of your new book coming out in early March. Congratulations,
thank you.
Early. But it's all about the fears that might be more deep than previously reported around Iran and threats against the president's life.
Sure. Well, back in September, the fears about Iran and a potential assassination attempt towards then-candidate Trump were far more serious than people knew. There was a particular point where Trump was informed by law enforcement that Iranians had agents in the U.S. with access to surface-to-air missiles that could be used to down his personal plane, otherwise known as Trump Force One. And so he used a decoy plane at one point, a plane used by his donor, who's Steve Witkoff, who is now a Mideast envoy, and his staff was kept in Trump Force One, which upset them a little bit to some degree. Which upset them, but it shows the degree to which there was concern about his life, and this was a very serious situation as it related to Iran and their desire to kill him.
We also you bring viewers and readers into what that flight was like. You said a lot of gallows humor, I would expect.
It was completely surreal, and so these staffers didn't know until the moment before, the moment the plane doors shut, they noticed that Trump wasn't in his seat, the seat that he usually sits in. They were informed by campaign leadership, look, the candidate Trump's not on the seat. It's just going to be us today. And there was a lot of, well, what happens if the plane goes down? So it was a very surreal experience for them.
If this is a founded fear, I mean, they're basically sitting there as bait. Correct. I know it says something that we haven't yet heard about the fears around Iran. Doesn't that also tell us something about Trump and the way that his orbit was run during the campaign?
A little bit. You know, they kept things very tight, and they had to work really hard at that point to convince staffers that they weren't being used as bait. And there was a lot of anger about how that flight played out during it and after it. It was something that people talked about for months afterwards.
Yeah, certainly something that they would talk about for months, because you called it in your book at one point a ghost flight.
It was known as the ghost flight. That was the name that it sort of became this thing in Trump campaign lore. And there were a lot of hard feelings about it.
Wouldn't you expect that there would be, though? I mean, that leadership wouldn't tell you you're on a flight like that.
Yeah, and some of them wondered why they didn't just take commercial to get to where they needed to be.
Exactly. A really fantastic question, one that I'm sure we will be asking as we dig into your book. Senior political reporter for Axios, Alex Eisenstadt, thank you. We're going to have you back to talk more about your upcoming book, Revenge.